Hi.
17. So I'm in the bus driving. Here, look it. You're driving with me. We're going through some Oklahoma pasture land. That's what we're doing. So, oh man. Okay, so the Stellar Gateway is what we are. Sorry, I've got all these windows open. Hold on, here we go. Okay, the Stellar Gateway is what we are doing. Why can't I ever find it? Oh, Leandra. Okay. Let me. If you go, it's in the Magical Mothering. Let me share it with you. Okie dokie. Hold on. I think I go to participants. I should be able to invite, copy invitation, and paste. Whoa, that's a long one. All right, there you are, Leandra. And anybody else who's in the Facebook who wants to join in. Okay, so Stellar Gateway. Here is another newer chakra. This chakra actually came into existence in about 2017. So I'm hoping that internet stays well while we're traveling and all that. Oh, there you are. Okay, perfect. I'm hoping internet stays well while we're traveling and all is well with that. So the Stellar Gateway, what is it? How do we get there? So Stellar Gateway is really the Merkaba. So the Merkaba is this amazing tetrahedron shape. So that is like the Star of David, but in 4D. You know, so like imagine a star. You know, like the Star of David, but completely surrounding us. So sometimes writing or drawing it out or seeing a picture of it is really helpful. And so with that Star of David tetrahedron, there's a lot of cultures that actually use the tetrahedron as their spiritual symbol, which I found very interesting. I'm like, no coincidences there, huh? Yet again, because that tetrahedron energy, when we imagine ourselves inside of it and it's spinning around us, it's literally a vehicle. So in my brain, this is how other entities, other beings that are their whole spiritual selves actually travel around in this and actually go through the time-space continuum. I know as we get into some of these chakras, I'm going to go off the deep end right here and we're just going to like blow it all up. If you want to stay with the first 7 chakras, just back it up. Wait a few days, we'll get through this. But here on the next few days are gonna be just more of this awesomeness, right? More of just the things that nobody's talking about in regular Facebook land, and it's time, right? It's time to talk about all the things. So this Merkaba energy is really this vortex. So, and I do have this in the workbooks. I have the whole thing in the Stellar Gateway. I go through a Merkaba activation in the Facebook videos. So there's ways of kind of hopping into that activation and checking it out, or you can jump full on into the full, chakra aspects and see those there in the workbooks. So the Merkaba energy, this tetrahedron circling, and there's a whole kind of there. I will post the guy's name in the Magical Mothering Mighty Networks community with the book that has all of like the kind of activations of how to start your own Merkaba. But really going through and activating that energy. A great way to also see the Stellar Gateway is literally the gateway, because of course it's not necessarily physical, it's all around us. The gateway between our dimension and the spiritual dimension. So anytime we're doing like a shamanic journey, we're passing through that Stellar Gateway, right? Anytime we're doing any sort of ritual, we're passing through that Stellar Gateway. Anytime we're creating a aspect of intention, and we're purposely going into the other side. So Samhain, that stellar gateway, is very thin, the veil. Okay, so I'm trying to create a little bit of background of what the stellar gateway is and how it's applicable to our own lives. So the stellar gateway, allowing for these I am statements. I kind of was like, how is this, how am I going to create I am statements for the stellar gateway? It seems, all right, go for it. So really, if we are the I am that I am, then I am the stellar gateway as well. It's an interesting thing when you put an I am statement before things that you're like, am I this stellar? Because you can't say I am something without it being what it is. So there's an interesting aspect of when we allow for the stellar gateway to be who and what we are, then we are that connection. We are the stellar gateway for others, right? We are that passageway for things from the divine to pass through us. So a lot of times, Jesus spoke very clearly about him being the stellar gateway, not in those words, right? But I am the light, which is what the stellar gateway is. I am the way that my Father comes to the earth. So it's interesting that when we begin talking about these aspects and really kind of creating space for us knowing that we are the channel, we are the light, we are the gateway, we are my cat just bit me. I know it's a lot. She's like, ah. So I'm probably gonna have to move up. Are you coming back here? Yeah. Okay. All right. Excuse me while we trade positions. Travis is gonna come back here. I'm gonna go up here. All right. Here we are. So allowing for that knowledge, that awareness, that ability to be in our awareness. So even just that statement, I am the stellar gateway, I am the light. Where in your system do you feel that? I am the light. I am the gateway between the physical and the spiritual. Allowing for that space. Yeah, the crown and the heart. Yeah, it's like that connection, that heart connection to the crown connection. And, I often think about when I do shamanic journeys with individuals and I bring them to that other side. We're literally, and I've integrated that into so much of my stuff. So all of you have done an inner child healing where you went to the other side. You've gone to that space in that nature setting, or you've gone into the pillar of light. I almost feel like that is such a good expression of what it is when we cross through that stellar gateway, adorning ourselves in that pillar of light or stepping into that space. And so in our own bodies, allowing for that light to be integrated completely versus separate from us, something that we go to the stellar gateway. So allowing for that mindset to be that we can either have it on, right? We can be in the discipline or the practice of turning that Merkaba energy on and having that pillar of light or that light be through us. And it is a practice. I was really diligent during the Stellar Gateway month of doing that Merkaba exercise every day, and then moving on to the celestial chakra. I started connecting with my guides more, and it's tricky. There's so many aspects, and so I feel like learning to have a practice that integrates all of these in a more fluid way is something that is going to be the practice, right? Because it's different for everybody. Some people are really love the pillar of light exercise, and that is how they integrate that aspect. Some people really love the Merkaba exercise. Some people are going to really love the different activations of going through that. So finding that on an individual basis, but knowing that each culture actually activates or accesses the stellar gateway in their own way. And so what I've done over the past 12 going on 13 months now is given these insights or tools from various resources to help us go into that space. So in the newest book that I'm reading, Your Time is at Hand, I believe is what it's called. I posted it in, maybe I posted it. I think I posted it. I've not posted it. Okay, I will make sure to post that. Your Time is at Hand, and I will write her name down. She is doing a lot of these activations and really reminding us of our divine body, of our divine being, of going in and really activating, allowing, sharing with us. Sorry, our trucker station is on and we are in Oklahoma and you cannot understand anything them truckers are saying. So when they talk, we're like, excuse me, what did you just say? It's probably how most of the truckers would think about everything that I'm saying in this Facebook right now. They would be like, what in the world is this woman saying right now? I don't understand a word of it. Cultures, right? That's kind of the aspect here. So the Stellar Gateway is really connecting us to the other side of the veil. And what does that look like for you? There's definitely experts, right, that have all sorts of ways of doing it. I've shared different resources for that. So we're going to hop off of Facebook and I'm going to kind of open it up for the people in the Zoom call to share a little bit about what maybe that is for them. How have they accessed the other side before? I know a lot of people can feel, there's a lot of psychics and mediums that follow this, and that stellar gateway, they are that stellar gateway. As a psychic or medium, when you see people on the other side of the veil, you are the stellar gateway, being able to see through it very clearly. Not all of us have those clear visions of those entities or beings. So kind of creating space, sometimes we do need to have a practice or learn how to awaken or open those things, which is what that whole magical mothering method is. So thanks for being here on Facebook, in Facebook land. And for those on Facebook that want to be a part of this, just go to magical-mothering.mn.co to be a part of the magical mothering community in there. And there's a ton of resources. All the topics are very clearly laid out. I just needed to create a sacred space outside of social media to have the community happen in. So if you're fine being on Facebook and you're enjoying just seeing what happens on there, cool. Thanks for joining in. Otherwise, we'd love to have you join over in the other space as well. All right. See you tomorrow. Okay. So I am going to undo phone and that way I can hear you guys. So I would love to hear if you guys have any kind of experiences, or let me